back to Nuffy Cat. We're so glad that you can join us today. In today's video, I want to talk about a topic that one of my friends from YouTube now suggested. We're going to talk about the topic of anger today. Anger is one of those emotions that really can be more tricky. The reason you're seeing all of this symbology, all of these symbols of fire around here in today's video is because anger is like fire. Fire is a perfect symbol. If you think about fire for a minute, it can cook our food. It can keep our homes warm. It can keep them safe, or it can completely destroy them. And how you handle anger really matters, just like how you handle fire really matters. Fire can also burn your house down. Fire can destroy whole towns. Fire can destroy your life. It can destroy your marriage. It can destroy your relationships. It can destroy your trust. And it can destroy other people's trust in you. You can have worked for a long time to establish trust and camaraderie with somebody, and then you go around and give in to anger carelessly, and you can pay the price. This little impatient tail is expressing a level of frustration right now. This is an impatient tail that says, I want to do other things. Yes, other things besides hanging out with the mommy. How you handle anger is really important, just like how you handle fire. I know that that's one emotion that can be really tricky because at the time that you feel it, it can feel very justified. And maybe in your situation, you may even be wise in feeling justified. Sometimes not too, many times not. That's anger's danger, is that it feels justified. It feels accurate. The thoughts that go with it can feel accurate. But most of the time, they're not. Most of the time, the thoughts and the judgments that accompany anger really aren't accurate. A lot of times, most all the time, anger comes from a misunderstanding. And that's a really big thing to remember. You know, anger is kind of our protective mechanism. It's when we don't feel safe. It's when we're feeling uncertain and scared. And a lot of times anger is an attempt to protect that. Not to protect the fear, but to protect ourselves and make us feel safe. And so if we remember that about it, we can take control of it before it takes control of us, just like you do a fire. You have to carefully watch and contend with fire wisely. You don't be done with fire or it'll quickly go out of control. Same for anger. You don't be done with anger or it'll go out of control really quickly, and it can destroy everything that you're working on, just like fire. So it's something to respect. I don't mean to be judgmental. I do mean be wise. Do respect your emotions. That protective feeling is there for a reason. Sometimes it can even be based from past reasons. Things that happened in the past that the present can reflect. Which is one of the reasons also, again, why judgment can be skewed. So respect your emotions, respect the feeling, but don't trust the thoughts that go with it. Don't trust that it's accurate. Do trust that you're feeling the need to protect yourself, and that is something wise and important to do when you need to. But even if you ever do need to, anger is your enemy in that others can control you. When they know your anger, they can steer you. And they can directly put you into places they want you to be for their intentions. So remember that about it. Remember that fear is often under it. The drive to protect ourselves when we don't feel safe is a big part of our lives. Look at anger more like a fire, but also like you do a sign on the street that says caution. And if you do that, if you become cautious and careful instead of overreactive and careless, then you can use anger wisely like you use fire wisely, and it can serve you instead of destroy you. It's something that's also, you'll hear the terminology of it being like a two-edged sword. Or a two-edged knife. I've got some of those over here. Like a two-edged sword, it can cut you and the other person or the other situation that you're trying to protect yourself from. So what do you do when you feel it so strong that it's absolutely eating you? So when you feel it, you stop yourself. You stop and you take control of it. You mentally take control of it. And by that, you choose what to say, when to say, and how to say. You stop. You take a breath, take several breaths, and a lot of times it helps to take a little bit of space away from the situation. That can only, sometimes it can just be for a few minutes. Sometimes you might need several hours. But leave the situation for the moment and respect each other. Like if you're with another person, leave long enough to gain clarity about what you want to do and what you want to say. Yeah, no bite. Yeah, somebody said bite. Somebody was bite-chee-cheeing saying no. There's a little impatient tail, yes. So we stop and we take control of it before it gets out of control and it clouds our judgment. If it's seriously starting to take over and you absolutely feel like you need to yell about something, for example, only yell the truth. No name calling, no accusing, no blaming, only speak the truth. And also always only stick to the point that's going on at the moment. Don't bring up the past. Don't say things like you are always or you never. That's not the way to communicate. That'll make somebody else feel defensive. You'll notice that anger tends to make others, it's like contagious, like fire spreads, it can spread, and others will get defensive instead of listening to what you're really trying to say. So you say, I feel instead of you are. Like, I feel angry right now. I feel frustrated right now. I feel like you're not listening to me right now. I need you to listen to what I have to say. If you're finding yourself or them uncooperative, leave for a few minutes and respectfully do so. Say, well, let's take a little space until we can think about how to handle this wiser. Only speak the truth and only yell the truth if you do have to yell. Remember that it's a fire and that you have to handle fire wisely. Be wise with anger because then it can serve its purpose. It can cook your food, so to speak. It can get your point across accurately if you're careful with it. Instead of burning all of the things you're trying to say, and when you let it get carried away, it can negate what you're trying to say. That is just like letting your roast in the oven get completely burned. So if you're really having trouble and everything you're trying isn't working, I find that it's really helpful to do something physically very active. Do something like taking a walk. You may even like to take a run. You may like to do some martial arts. You can chop some wood. You can do some weightlifting. Do some boxing if you have a nice punching bag or something. Go to a gym. Do something like really intense housekeeping chores. Things that are heavy and luggy that need to be done. That's the right time to do it. You'll notice a lot of times you'll feel extra strong when you feel angry. So you can use it to do something good, like hoeing up your garden or the ground, or digging the rows that you need to plant your new pots or your new flowers, your new veggies and things. Yes, anger can serve you when you respect it like that. That's still respecting it, but not letting it be in control. Well, then you'll be in control of the fire and of the anger instead of it being in control of you. Proactively think of solutions then, once you're feeling a little more calm and you've taken some breaths and you've taken some space, and then you present that when you're calm. Well, thank you all so much for letting me share this video with you today. If you like the content of our videos, don't forget to take those paws and paw that like button. Don't forget that you can paw the subscription button and you can see all of his videos. And you can paw the notification bells so that you'll be notified about all the videos. Well, thank you all so very much. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video.